Hi you guys, what's up? It's your girl Samantha Portia, and I'm back again with another video for you guys. So like I do in all my videos, I like to take this time out to welcome those of you who are new, who's visiting this channel for the first time. Hopefully you guys feel home here enough to subscribe and turn on your bell notifications. That way whenever I do a new video, you guys won't miss it and we get to hang out again. And to my love bugs, y'all know I love y'all so much. I just want to give you guys a special shout out, thanking you guys so much for all the engagement and the subscriptions and subscribers and like all of the love and everything that you guys have been doing here on this channel, because this is a new channel, but I do see the growth. And guys, we are almost at 500 subscribers, so hopefully we can get there within this month and continue to grow. And yeah, you know, spreading the love and all of that stuff. But yeah, you guys know y'all my love bugs. I call y'all my babies all the time, and I truly mean that. Thank you so much, because you guys could be watching anybody else, but you guys are here watching me, engaging with me, talking with me, and now we have us a little mini community, and we're building and growing on that. So thank you guys so much. And with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump into this video. So it's going to be a little bit more on the serious side, because we are talking about a serious subject. And today we're going to be talking about abuse and my experience with it. And if this video was to have any disclaimer at all, this will be the only disclaimer that I want to give you guys. You guys don't have to feel sorry for me. You guys don't have to feel any type of like, I don't know, like I'm good, pretty much is what I'm saying. I'm not in that space anymore. This is why I can talk about it now. Yeah, so guys, with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this video. So like I said, y'all, today we're going to talk about abuse and my experience with it. So I can let you guys know right off the bat, I have experienced abuse. I mean, you experience abuse from people in some sort of way, pretty much. Like, it's like if you're interacting with humans, you're going to experience abuse in some way, shape, or form. But today I'm going to talk to you guys about my experience with physical abuse specifically. And yeah, so I've experienced abuse, I'll say two times long term in my life, that really left like a pivotal mark, a pivotal remembrance for me, and that really just stands out in my life. So the first time I have experienced abuse, it was from my then stepfather at the time. And my mom, okay, so my mom had gotten out of, well, actually my dad left. I'm not even gonna say gotten out of a relationship or whatever. And like that whole story is like a whole nother thing, y'all. We'll touch that subject on another day. But my dad had left, and then my mom was stuck with us. So at the time it was my older brother, and then it was me, and then it was my younger brother. And my older brother was going back and forth to the Bahamas, because you know he was going with his dad, and then he'll come here, and then like it'll be they will alternate or whatever. However that was working then. I don't really remember that much because I was so young. But my mom had left, and pretty much, well, my dad left, and then pretty much my mom had to readjust like her whole life now with 2 more children. So she had, okay, so we had a house when my dad like stayed there. Like, we had a house. It was like a great house, and we had a rock waller. I'll never forget it, y'all. And my dad had his car there. Like, it wasn't like no great car. It was just like a big, I don't know, I think it was a box Chevy or something like that. I don't remember. And yeah, so my mom had to adjust from living in a house, you know, having a house and all of that, and kind of like, you know, downgrade to restart. So we went to apartments. We left the house and we went to an apartment. And my mom was doing hair, okay, in Miami. So we're like, okay, so Miami hair at that time, like, we're talking like late 80s, early 90s. We're talking Freaknik hair. We're talking twists with the pineapple freeze curls, crimp ponytails, like all of that. Like, you wasn't getting no wig put on. And like now, like, that hair is easy now. It's not easy, I ain't gonna lie, because it's a lot that goes into it. But it was, I would say the hairstyles were more statuesque than they are now. Still a lot of time, okay? But back then, doing those type of hairstyles, you had to display and have a certain type of craftsmanship, okay? Like, freeze curls, scrunches, finger waves, like all of that. Like, no, like, you had to know how to do hair, baby. Not just put on a wig. Like, yeah, we got it. It's cute now, the soft look and all that. No, baby, you had to know how to execute a hairstyle with the Marcel irons, and it was a whole thing. So my mom was doing hair and stuff like that, but she was also going to school and everything. And so she, you know, with kids, you know, being a single mother and just still pursuing your dreams and everything like that, but now you have kids and, you know, left out of marriage. So I could only imagine what her mom was going through at that time. And of course, you know, when you're a beautiful single woman, you're gonna meet guys. You're gonna meet a lot of guys. You know, you're gonna meet good guys. You're gonna meet bad guys. And she met a bad guy at the time. She met a bad guy. But you know, it's funny because my mom reminds me a lot of myself, or I remind myself a lot of my mom, especially with the things that I've been through. But she ended up meeting my stepdad and my brothers. I love my brothers to death. I love them to death. I will fight for them to death, period. Like, it's not happening, baby, not with me around. Let's just say that. But my mom met my stepdad, right? And I'm such an intuitive person. Even at that young age that I was, I couldn't have been no more than probably like 4 or something like that. I don't know, 4, maybe even 6. I'll give myself 6. But I can remember she met him or whatever. You know, of course, they met outside of the house. But when she introduced him to us, it's like my spirit picked it up. My spirit picked it up. It was like, no. No. And like, I had this thing to where I would try to like communicate with my mom. I would be like, I'll either nudge her or I'll run behind her and like try to like get her attention and be like, no, like, you know, that type of thing. But you know, she just left out of a marriage. Like, her and my dad were married. So she left, like, it was a split. However, he left. So it wasn't even like a mutual thing. And then she just had to kind of figure it out on her own. Not to mention, y'all, that my mom she's not from the United States. She's from the Bahamas. So she's in a whole nother country, out of a marriage, with kids, having to figure it all out, you know? And of course, you know, a woman's always going to have her needs and stuff like that. So her meeting him and how it all happened, like, that was natural. Like, I get it. Now, as an adult, I get it. But he was a very, he was a very stern, strict island man, okay? And later, as an adult, I will find out that he was also damaged as well. He also came from an abusive background. So his whole way of doing things and like parenting and all of that, like, he did what was done to him. So again, like I said, my brother would go back and forth, you know, to the Bahamas and come back or whatever, see him, you know. Of course, we spoke amongst ourselves. We didn't like him because literally when my mom would leave, I would feel the fear of God in me, like, what is this man going to do? I don't know. I know he don't like me, you know. And like, why I brought up the fact that he was a very strict island man was because, you know, she ain't always looked like this. I'll just say that. So with island people, they're super religious, okay? And even outside of that, if they're not religious, they're just really like that cultural like thing with LGBTQ, whatever. Friends that, you know, she started out doing their hair and stuff, but she had friends that grew to be family. And one of them, lifelong, didn't even know like it was gonna happen. But we would go over there to her house and he would give her the rundown. Don't let her play with no dolls and no Barbies and none of that. That's not happening. And don't let them go outside and all that. Right. It wasn't just the rules for me. Yeah, it was specifically rules for me because, oh my gosh, me playing with the doll, oh, that just disgusted him. But yeah, don't let them go outside and be kids and have fun and play at the park that's right across the street from your house. Let them stay inside and be disciplined all the time and walk the straight line. Real island. So she'll probably give it like, okay, I'm gonna give it like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you know, just in case you circle the block and try to come back in the house or something. Like, I'll give it a little minute just to make sure you gone, like, about your business. Cause you know, okay, so the way she was, and I hope that I get her character right, but the way I perceived it was, you know, I respect you as a human, because my like friend like mess with you and like everything, I'm gonna respect, but I don't really like you. And the way that you're giving off these rules and stuff, you think that I'm your child too, and I'm not. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and when they hear, they can do whatever they want to do to be happy, and that's just that. So, you know, she like, okay, I'm gonna patronize your position, but I don't really respect you like that. These are kids and they're gonna have fun. I'm gonna let them do what they want to do. So yeah, mind you, y'all, we would be outside, like, because they tried to deprive me of something, it became like I want to have it all the time. So times when I could play with dolls and stuff like that, I would literally, like, that's all I would do. And like, he really did not like it so much because when my mom was pregnant with me, and this is stories that she told me, all she did was hair, because she was, you know, working and stuff like that to get the house when she was with my dad. So she was doing hair all the time. And that became my gift. That's the gift that I came out of the womb with. Like, I can do hair all day and be happy, be satisfied. I'll be tired and like I'll still be doing hair and still be happy. Like, I have done hair in the past for free, and my people would be like, why you don't charge him? You done stood up there all that time that I ain't do nothing. But it's just because I have like a genuine love for doing hair. I love hair. Not no just short hair. No, baby, I love hair. Okay. So yeah, like that really was what the thing was with me with dolls. Like, I love doing their hair. I love how pretty and just vibrant and free and just creative and everything that they tell children. You could be anything, you know, you can do whatever you want to do. It's like, you know, playing pretend in whatever career field. Barbie was it for me. That's what I related to. So, yeah, that was the thing. Like, but we would be there playing, we'll be playing, making mud pies and doing all type of things, getting in trouble, all of us getting in trouble. Because you know how Florida people is. If I'm watching your kids are my kids. So if one get in trouble, we all get in trouble. So like, that's how it was. You know, that's the group that we grew up in. Okay? And I'll just say this to say, so y'all know how long term this family friend is. My brother, my oldest brother, actually ended up marrying her oldest daughter. And they now today have my nephew. So that's how far back the history goes, okay? My mom met him, right? And, you know, of course, you know, they play the role, you know, everything like that. They make you fall in love and all that stuff. But you never know from the gate that they are cuckoo, crazy, okay? And they were together for a long time. Like, my mom is a very, like, when she's in a relationship, like, whoever she's with, like, she's with you. And, like, that's how I am, too. Like, if I'm with you, I'm with you. And that's just it. And when stuff ain't right, I'm still gonna stick through with you to make it work. So that's what kind of situation that was. And, quickly, I mean, the signs was there, but I think that my mom was just in a vulnerable space at that time. And I feel like she wanted someone there with her. Someone that I guess she can relate to. Or someone that she felt that she could build something new with. So she kept him around, and of course, you know, kids came, my two younger brothers came out of that, and yeah, so he, I don't know, I mean, he had jobs, but he didn't really have jobs, but he had jobs, but, and then he was like driving trucks at one point, and like, so it was, I don't know, like finances with him was like, it was off and on, but then like when it was on, like it was on, like it was still, like it was good. That part, my mom has to be here to tell you. I can't tell you, like I only know from like what I saw. But my mom was still working a lot. She was still doing a lot of hair. And you know, she was working a lot of late nights, because then her thing became she wanted to have a shop. She wanted to have her own thing. She didn't want to work in the shop for other people, and I understand that 100%. She got the shop, you know, she had the shop for a long time, but the shop, she made good money. The shop was just in the city of Miami, 305. Like there, it was like, okay, I'm gonna do it and hide it, you know, type of thing. He got on drugs. So I was already getting abused. Like me and my youngest brother, which is the younger, like he's 1 year under me. Me and him, we were getting the full extent. Okay, we were getting the full extent of his rage. We were getting the full extent of when he didn't have his drugs. What did they call the withdrawals? Oh yeah, we were getting the full extent of that. And it was so bad. Like y'all, it's a lot of stories, but I can't put them all in this one video. But this one particular story stands out to me so much. It's like I can literally play it in my head and see it like in my head. So how strict he was, like school was like something he did not play with. Like we had to get straight A's, all A's. There was no exception for no B. If y'all don't get straight A's, it's gonna be a problem. So school, oh, we got straight A's multiple times. Oh yeah, a lot of times. Because if we didn't get straight A's, we was gonna get beat a half of an inch damn near of our life. So we had to get straight A's, okay? And this one particular time, I guess, you know, and see, people don't realize, you know, when you're going through something, and like, kids are kids, yes, but don't think kids can't have like side effects and stuff from things that happen to them that they're not talking about, or that because of fear of, okay, yeah, a teacher, I can tell an authority figure or something, but ultimately, at the end of the day, you're still going to go back to that situation. You're still going to go back to that household. But now, you're going to go back and you're going to have an even bigger problem because you opened your mouth about what goes on behind this door, what goes on in this house. So we had to just take it. And our only defense where things was rattled would be with our oldest brother. He would stand up. He would say, "Nah, that ain't right," or "I don't like this, and you always doing this, da da da." So him, like, those two would clash all the time. Like times when my mom would want to be passive or try to validate his actions, or, well, he's right. No, my brother was not going for it. Like, he did not play about us. And I'll let y'all know this. Like, with all of my brothers, I never had to act like anything else or anybody else besides myself. This one particular time, I guess I wasn't doing my homework in school, and my teacher, she reached out, you know, to my parents, my mom, and my stepdad, you know, who was on the list and all that. And he came out to the school. I don't know if he had a drug binge. I don't know if he had got some bad stuff. Or I don't know if he had been out all night partying and they had called him while he was trying to recuperate so he could go back out. Who knows? What I do know is the teacher called and he came, right? And like school was still going on. He took me out of school and had the teacher give me all of the homework that I did not do. And, you know, as a kid, y'all, some of y'all are parents watching this video, you know, your kids are going to come and tell you, yeah, they did the homework, or no, the teacher didn't give you any homework. You know, that's something normal that kids do because we don't want to do. We did work all day in school and now you're trying to make us come home and do work. We don't want to do it. So we're going to lie and tell you it's none. So, you know, that infuriated him. And I was sitting in the passenger seat of the car, and I believe it was a Maximum, a blue Maximum, I will never forget it. And I was buckled up, because I'm thinking we're about to leave. He's, and he's Trinidadian, y'all, so he had like this really heavy accent. And homework, and like, y'all, this man was beating me. I probably wasn't even like, I'll give myself maybe 10. This man was beating me like I was his age. Blows to the face, punches, side punches, because I'm sitting in the passenger seat next to him, so it's like side punches and like, yeah, like it was really bad. Then, right, so after he had already realized what he had done out of anger. Oh, the plot thickens. After he had realized what he had done out of anger, right? Like any person would do. It's like, oh, damn. Oh. So it became, I have to cover my ass because I could go to fucking jail. Yeah, you can. You can. You can and you should. You can and you should. You can and you should. I just had to repeat it just a couple of times. You know, maybe some people in the back didn't hear me. But yeah, you can and you should. Right? And it was basically threatening me that if I did say anything, that in a nutshell, the man was gonna kill me, period. Like, there's nothing else to say. Like, I'm trying to cover my ass. If you say something, it's the Netflix theme. Da-dum-dum. Yeah. So, the story that he came up with was, I was going to my principal's office and I slipped and I hit my face on the doorknob, because y'all don't understand how bad this grown ass Trinidadian man beat me. I was going to the principal's office and I slipped and I hit the doorknob and hit the floor and everything, and that's why my face, because everything was in my face. It was in my face. Everything was in my face, okay? Few shoulder bruises, but everything was up here. So my mom, so, you know, because they picked me up from school early and everything, he did that, threatened me, and then dropped me off to my mom's shop. And I feel like my mom knew what happened, but she herself had been abused by this man too. So even before we moved to the house that we were in when I was going to that school, he had done beat her a couple of times already. And it's been, one time it was so bad, child. This when my dad was still alive. But see how my dad was? My dad, it's like we didn't exist to my dad. So my mom they had gotten to this thing, and then it was so bad. She walked to like the payphone, called him, and like my dad was just like, oh, well, what you want me to do? Because see, what we didn't know was my dad had left his first wife, whom he did not divorce. He went out into the United States of the Americas and spreaded his seeds amongst whomever had welcoming legs. Ooh, let me stop, because you know what? I did forget my dad. I'm sorry, Dad. I know you're dead. You watching over me, but tell it like it is. But yeah, my dad did not care. He didn't care. So she seen it and she just was like, oh my gosh, you look like an animaniac. Like that. And that was it. And it was like, I kind of was giving her that look like, you know what happened. Don't even. So, you know, and she was looking like, I already know. But because she had people in the shop, she has to kind of like, because he called her, told her the story, and like, that's what her crutch was then for that. But my principal, she wasn't going for it. She knew what was going on. She had a feeling what was going on. She can identify the problems that was going on in the house. And she was making it a big deal. She called the meeting. She called my mom. You need to come into work because DCF about to come in here and it's about to be a whole thing. And it did become a whole thing. And my principal she literally demonstrated, like, there's no way that a child can come and slip and hit their face on a doorknob or anything. Even if they did hit their face on a doorknob, there would be one bruise, not multiple bruises across, like, your whole face. So imagine just him knowing that I was different, and everybody else, like grown-ups, they knew that I was different, and they knew why I was getting beat the way that I was. But it's just that they weren't really in a position to really say anything where it would be effective. So that's one time, right, that with him that it really stood out. And like, he would do things to where he would be like, oh, come outside. I wouldn't want to go outside. I would have to go outside because now he wants to cross line his stories with mine so that my stories can be accurate. And then it would be, I'll get you gifts and ice cream and a bike and skates and, like, yeah, you know, things that abusers do. So, you know, that went on for a while. And then it got so bad to where at the time my mom had ended up losing the job. We got behind on bills. We ended up being homeless. We had to stay in hotels, multiple hotels for multiple nights. And that was the breaking point for my mom. I guess, I don't know, she just couldn't do it. I can't tell you, I can't speak for her. You have to talk to her to find out exactly what the breaking point was. But I know financially that was the breaking point. But I feel like she probably had to strategize in her head what would be the easiest way for me to get out of this situation. So that's what prompted me and my brother, who's a year younger than me, for us to go and live with my grandmother in the Bahamas. So literally our whole lives, and I think she chose us to go because we have been getting it so bad for so long that she was like, I'm not even gonna send the two youngest ones. I'm gonna send y'all. And yeah, because I already know that this right here, like, my kids might not live. My kids might not make it. So let me send the ones that he don't like, which was us. His kids, they got treated like royalty. But the way that my mom brought us up, we did not, it wasn't no stepbrother or nothing. Like, we're all one. Like, so even going through that, we never took our anger out on them or none of that. Like, they was our brother. Like, that's it. It wasn't no half brother, no nothing. So we went and lived with my grandmother, and we stayed there for about 5 years and stuff like that. I believe that my mom was just like, okay, in order for me to get a handle on this situation, it was 5 of us in total. Let me send some to my mom, because you watch my kids for me so I can get my life together. Okay, and that's what happened. So literally when we came back from the Bahamas, my mom was single. My mom had her own job. She had another job. She was working in another industry, the casino industry. That's when she became a poker dealer. And she had her own house, like everything, like she was plush, like it was like good, and she only had the 2 kids at the time. So then she came into a position to where she was like, okay, no, actually my oldest brother was there. Yeah, my oldest brother was there too. So she then came into a position where because my oldest brother was going to high school and stuff, and then he graduated. So when we came back, he was going to the army. So she had my 2 little brothers squared away, and then she had my oldest brother squared away, and then she brought us over, and then we were, you know, that's what we did. So that was the first time that I experienced, and y'all, I didn't even tell y'all a lot of stories, but again, it's not anybody's business. It's just my life experience, and I'm past that point. I'm not even there anymore. I'm happy. I forget. This man could walk in the room, everything. I would sit down right next to him, and we can talk and do the video together and everything like that, and go through our emotions and all of that, and be fine, and give 100 hugs, not just on camera but off camera, because I learned how to forgive, and I saw what stuff like that do to people who aren't strong. And I made it my business to be relentless and strong in my life. And yeah, so yeah, I can see him today, and like I have many times, and it's such a respect, y'all. It's such a welcoming, like every time. Like now I'm the apple of his eye, child, like everything to him, you know. This has nothing to do with how I am or what my judgment is on my life now. But yeah, make sure you guys subscribe, turn on your bell notifications, and to my love bugs, y'all know I love y'all, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay beautiful.